Hi everyone, I'm Tanaz from foreverconscious.com and this is your weekly energy forecast for the week of February 20th. In order to talk about the energy for this week, I kind of want to give you a little peek ahead as to what's coming up in March and where we're kind of heading. So March is the only month of the year where we have 0 major planets in retrograde. So this is a rare opportunity, a rare time where we have a lot of forward moving momentum, a lot of energy that's supporting us to take a leap of faith, to check things off our to-do list, to try new things, to launch projects, to put action to in the direction that we want to be heading in. So much support happening in the month of March, particularly in the second half of March. So that's where we're heading. Where we are currently now is we might actually be starting to feel some of that forward moving energy. We may be starting to tap into it. You may be feeling it a little bit in your own life. Or you might still be in the phase of needing to kind of reflect and clear things and to maybe do away with energies or situations or even relationships, because we've had a lot of Venus energy, relationships that are no longer serving you. So we're kind of in a big cleansing, purging phase. And then as we get into March, and particularly in that second half of the month, there is just so much forward moving energy on our side. So start thinking about, getting sort of keeping it in the back of your mind that if there's something you want to do, something you want to achieve, like I said, a leap of faith or launching a project, start thinking about what that might be, because you have a lot of support, cosmic support in March. I also just want to add, if you're a little bit like me, and so I know this energy is coming up, right? Beautiful energy for launching things, starting new projects. But as many of you know, I just had a baby, and I'm not currently in that headspace in my life right now. Thinking about launching projects, starting new things, forward moving energy is just like a little too much for me to handle right now. So if you're the same way, if whatever's going on in your life, you're like, launching new things, taking leaps of faith, I'm still, way back here. I'm still, not in that headspace. That's fine. And I want you to know that you can use that energy as it comes to take small actions, even just a small little action. Think of it this way, and this is actually true for everything in astrology. Whenever you take an action, the energetic imprint of the current cosmic weather is sort of imprinted into that action. So even if whatever it is that you take a step on or step with, or whatever you leap with in March, even if it doesn't come to fruition for months or even years, that imprint of energy will still be there. So it really is a time where we can take action in a big way. And in fact, if you want to take action in a big way, I highly recommend it. But if you only can handle small actions, small steps, tiny little movements forward, know that you can. The energy is still there for you as well. So just something to keep in mind. I'm sure I'll remind you guys many, many times that March is the only month of the year where we have 0 major planets in retrograde. So please use this energy. This week, we have some cool numerology happening with the 22nd of February. So that's a lot of number 2 energy, the 22nd day of the second month in 2022. A lot of number 2 energy. Number 2 in numerology represents duality, and also, and probably more so, our relationship between our inner world and our outer world. There's a very deep relationship between where we are in our inner state of being, and then what we attract, what we observe, what we see in our outer world. It's almost like our inner world can help us. So actually think of it this way. When you're in a bad mood, right? You're just more likely to notice things in your external environment that will put you in a bad mood. It's like little things that maybe you wouldn't have noticed before start to become a trigger. And just the same way, if you're kind of in a in a good mood, you might be feeling light and carefree and seeing things in your environment that sort of support and make you feel that way. Now, it's not, that's a very simplistic way of looking at it, but know that this number 2 energy is a good opportunity for all of us to check in and to see, where we are in our inner world and how that might be manifesting or how that might be drawing our attention to things in our outer world. What you focus on expands. We are co-creators in this reality. So just because you've got something going on inside doesn't mean you're responsible for everything that's happening in your outside world. We are co-creators. There are soul plans, soul lessons, energies from other people. All of that influences the reality that we live in. We're all in this together. I like to think of it like we each have our little paintbrush, and together we are painting on the reality that we all get to experience. We're all connected. And of course, you can't control what other people paint with their brush. You can only control what you paint with your brush. But this 2 energy is a good time to kind of check in with that and see if you can check in without judgment. No shame. If you are carrying some heavier emotions in your internal world, that is okay. This is from Anita Morjani. She wrote a beautiful book about her near-death experience and what happened when she kind of crossed over, and then she's come back to sort of relay this message. Her book is called Dying to Be Me. And she was sort of talking about, this big push of like, oh, be positive, and you got to be positive. And if you're not positive, you're going to manifest negative things in your environment. And it doesn't work like that, guys, right? And what she says, and she touches on this too, what she says is, forget positive, forget negative, whatever. It's more important to be your true, authentic self. You don't have to, band-aid your emotions because you might manifest something in your outside world. It is more important to be your true, authentic self. And think about it, right? When we are in alignment with our true, authentic self, we automatically attract things that are for our highest good, things that are meant to be on our path. When we are in our true, authentic state, everything else falls into place. We don't need vision boards. We don't need to, everything just aligns. Having said that though, if you are a visual person or you love to sort of have some sort of inspiration hanging up near your desk or in your bathroom or whatever, actually it's a really good week to do that. This 2-2 energy, but also the meeting of Venus and Mars, which I have talked about in previous videos, it's still in operation for a couple of weeks. That energy is really supportive for manifestation work, for thinking about what you want to bring into and call into your life. It is a good time if you want to work with something, if you want to call something in, it's a good time to work with that because there's a lot of cosmic support on your side. Even though we're co-creators of our reality and it is more powerful to be our true authentic self, those are high truths. We also have the gift of manifestation. We are creators. We're co-creators, but we're also the creation part. So if there is something that you want to call in, if there is something that you want to attract, even if it's a feeling space, I think it's way more powerful to try and manifest feeling places for yourself. Okay, how do I want to feel? I want to feel energized. I want to feel abundant. Actually, right now, I'd love to feel energized because I have a newborn, or she's 4 months, and I'm still not sleeping. I would love to attract more energy, feeling a little bit more, de-stressed with the lack of sleep that I'm getting. That is actually a far more powerful place to come from when it comes to manifestation, rather than I could say, oh, I really want to manifest my daughter sleeping through the night. I would love to manifest that actually, but trying to control somebody else or trying to manifest things that involve another person, it's never a good idea. It's always better to focus on yourself. How can I manifest to become the best version of myself rather than trying to involve somebody else? So that's also something to think about with your manifestation work. So 222 energy, That's on February 22nd in whatever time zone you are in. The day of the 22nd is the day you can think about setting some intentions, calling some things in, making a vision board, kind of keeping it there. And then as we get into March, especially, you have a lot of fuel to take action to turn those things into reality. Okay, so I think that's kind of it for the week ahead. We're gearing up to this high forward moving energy. We're still doing a little bit of clearing, still doing a little bit of reflection work, just a little bit. That's sort of on its way out. But if you're feeling that, that's, know that you're still kind of in line with the harmony of the energies. And then we have this awesome numerology supporting us to think about our inner world and how that might be reflecting in our outer world and vice versa. And actually, I wrote an article about this, numerology 222 energy. And in there, I have some questions and journal prompts. I highly recommend you check them out. They're just designed to help you kind of reflect, help you kind of work with these, number 2 energies in a little more of a deeper way. So I will drop the link below in the description box, but you can also find that at foreverconscious.com. If you go to the homepage, you might have to scroll down a little bit to find it because I wrote it a while ago, but it's on there. So yeah, check that out. There's journal prompts and little questions that you can just ponder that are all in line with this number 2 energy. Okay, so I hope that was helpful. I hope you all have a wonderful week. We've wrapped up February pretty much. We're getting ready to enter into a new month. And you have a wonderful week. Thank you so much.